this fight, whether the first fight, but we'll see. It's my time to come back.
We come back, we saw Turkey Al-Sheikh come up to you right after, put 3 fingers in the air, saying third fight. Is that what you want? A rubber...
The long-awaited rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol has finally concluded, leaving the boxing world in shock as analysts, trainers, and fighters react to the unexpected outcome. The fight, which had been building anticipation for months, saw 2 of the most dominant light heavyweights in recent history square off once again.
Dmitry Bivol. Actually, I don't want second fight too. I mean, it's not my choice, but no problem. We're gonna do third fight.
With fans and experts divided over who would emerge victorious. Before the bout, renowned trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas shared his insights, believing that Bivol would show noticeable improvements after going 12 rounds with a powerhouse like Beterbiev in their first encounter. Atlas explains that facing a relentless pressure fighter like Beterbiev forces a boxer to answer questions about their own resilience, adaptability, and strategy, questions Bivol may not have been able to answer prior to their first fight.
Unbelievable fight, much better than the first one. And they gave their all, and we're going to get probably a trilogy out of it now.
However, Atlas also pointed out a crucial factor in Beterbiev's favor: his recovery time. In the first fight, Beterbiev was returning from a knee injury, and Atlas suspected that with more time to rehabilitate, he could come back stronger and more prepared for this rematch. Teofimo Lopez, the former unified lightweight champion, also weighed in, stating that he expected Beterbiev to secure another victory.
Interesting fight with David Benavidez, possibly instead of a trilogy with Artur.
I'm open for any fight, but today
Though he expressed hope that Bivol would improve upon his previous performance, Lopez anticipated that Beterbiev might inflict more damage this time around, particularly if he managed to capitalize on Bivol's weaknesses. Despite this, Lopez acknowledged Bivol's exceptional technical ability, which had allowed him to trouble Beterbiev in their first fight.
enjoy that I'm undisputed champion. I wanna take care of my health because I have some issues. I wanna heal myself, and then
He highlighted Bivol's impressive skill set, but pointed out that he appeared to fade in the later rounds, a factor that could prove decisive if the fight followed a similar trajectory. Robert Garcia, a highly respected trainer, believed the rematch would be just as competitive as their initial clash, if not more so. He suggested that if the fight mirrored their first bout, Bivol might stand a better chance of securing a victory this time.
forward again. Doesn't matter, trilogy, Benavidez, Canela, or I just, as always, I'm just waiting offer, and I'm.
Garcia noted that public perception played a significant role in how fights were judged, pointing out that many boxing fans and analysts had believed Bivol deserved to win their first meeting. As a result, he speculated that in a rematch, any closely contested rounds could lean in Bivol's favor due to the lingering sentiment that he had been the rightful winner before. Jaron Ennis, one of the brightest rising stars in boxing, shared his perspective.
We need to see a trilogy, don't we, Frank?
Oh, without that. Listen, that was a privilege to watch. Two gladiators, ultimate warriors, delivered. That was a much better fight than the first fight by a mile.
Stating that he had originally scored the first fight in favor of Bivol. While he admitted that Bivol had slowed down toward the later rounds, he believed the majority of observers saw Bivol as the rightful winner. Ennis welcomed the rematch, predicting that it would unfold differently as both fighters adjusted their strategies.
A great fight. Brilliant fight. I loved every moment of it. You've got to take your hats off to him, and he deserves another fight.
Beterbiev in Bivol's third fight.
He emphasized that Bivol had struggled with endurance late in their first encounter, but he was confident that with the right changes, the rematch could produce a different outcome. Jose Benavidez Jr. also felt that Bivol had done enough to win their first fight.
Benavidez is in the building. You know how to fight.
Doesn't matter. Bivol proved time and time again. Speak a pound for pound. Speak a pound for pound top fight tonight. He's the undisputed champion. No problem at all. Everything from Bivol was ready.
Citing his cleaner, more precise punches, and superior boxing fundamentals, he acknowledged that both fighters were among the best in the world, making their rematch highly unpredictable. While he was rooting for Bivol, he recognized that each man would come in with a new game plan, which could alter the flow of the fight. Benavidez Jr. emphasized that Bivol's ability to outbox Beterbiev had been a key factor in their first fight.
I think that we should look forward to a trilogy now.
Well, yeah, a third fight.
I think that'd be awesome, the Trinity trilogy.
If they do a third fight, what adjustments do you think can happen in the fight?
The adjustments, I think that really.
But he also warned that judges' perspectives could vary, particularly in a fight this close. Chris Algieri expressed his excitement for the rematch, believing it would be another action-packed encounter from start to finish. While he admitted that the intensity might not quite match their first meeting,
To be honest, Benavidez Avenue, I think he really needs to work downstairs first, chop him down, break him down, slow him down as far as Bivol goes. And Bivol, stick it moving, keep doing what he was doing tonight.
he underlined the fight's significance for both the light heavyweight division and the broader pound-for-pound rankings. With two elite fighters at the top of their game, Algieri urged fans not to miss the event. Former world champion Johnny Nelson confidently predicted that Bivol would win the rematch by decision, viewing it as a chance for redemption.
Dimitri, how do you feel about your next opponent?
I think the December it will be just amazing. Maybe earlier, maybe October. Why not?
You have a preference, David or Trilogy?
I don't have.
He believed Bivol could build upon his performance from their first encounter, while Beterbiev's style and relentless pace were unlikely to change. Nelson stressed that Bivol needed to control the fight's tempo, dictating when to engage and when to slow things down.
Preference now, to be honest. What people wanna see, I gonna take, no problem. Maybe we could talk about.
If Bivol could execute his game plan effectively, Nelson was convinced the result would be different this time. David Benavidez echoed the belief that Bivol had been the rightful winner in their first fight. While he acknowledged the competitive nature of the bout,
I will think about it also. Why not? I have belts here. I need to check cruiserweight.
It was very nice, delicious.
he felt Bivol dominated most rounds with his crisp combinations and sharp counter-punching. Looking ahead to the rematch, Benavidez believed Bivol had the tools to secure another victory, but admitted that both fighters were capable of making key adjustments.
Now we see round 3.
It was delicious. Who had the better meal tonight? How'd you have the fight?
The winner.
While he wasn't certain if the rematch would follow the same pattern, he remained confident that Bivol would emerge victorious again. Joe Cordina, another highly regarded fighter, felt that Bivol had a strong understanding of what he needed to do to secure victory in the rematch.
I think that Bivol is going to get better from the experience of having been in there with the boogeyman. I just think that being in there with this guy, this boogeyman, he got some answers to some questions that he might have thought he had going in the first time.
He expected Bivol to deliver a more assured performance, having already experienced Beterbiev's power and pressure. Cordina admitted that he personally scored the first fight in Beterbiev's favor by a single round, but he was confident that Bivol would remove all doubt in their second meeting.
Because you don't have them until you're in there. You actually go through that experience. Yeah. And I think that will better him. But I also think that Beterbiev might be better because he had more time to recover the knee, to rehab the knee.
Callum Smith offered a more balanced perspective, suggesting that the rematch could play out similarly to their first fight, with Beterbiev applying relentless pressure while Bivol relied on his speed and precision. However, Smith raised concerns about Beterbiev's age and the physical toll of his recent fights.
Bivol or Beterbiev? I think same outcome. Beterbiev. Rooting for Bivol. Hopefully he does better than the first time. If anything.
Questioning whether he could sustain his usual level of intensity for 12 rounds. Promoter Frank Warren was among those eagerly anticipating the rematch, calling it a showdown between two of the best light heavyweights in the world.
Hurt Bivol this time around. Kudos to Bivol, man. He boxed very well, but he just didn't show enough grit in the last championship rounds. It's a great fight.
Reflecting on their initial fight, he He praised both men's technical brilliance and predicted another thrilling, high-stakes battle. Shocker Stevenson pointed out that Bivol needed to maintain his energy and focus throughout the fight, particularly in the later rounds, to ensure a clear victory.
I think it'll be a great fight. I think if they do have a rematch, especially in Vegas, if we see the same fight again, I think this time it will go to Bivol. Just the way the judges are seeing. You see, the judges are also.
He believed that Bivol's lapse in intensity toward the end of their first bout had cost him, making it crucial for him to stay sharp for all 12 rounds this time. Sergey Kovalev scored the first fight in favor of Bivol, giving him a 7-5 edge in rounds. He remained convinced that Bivol had won and believed that with more confidence in the rematch, Bivol could secure an even clearer victory. Kovalev even suggested that this fight could set the stage for a high-profile trilogy. Carl Frampton admitted that he initially predicted a Beterbiev victory in their first fight.
The judges are also hearing, reading, everything. You know, a lot of boxing people thinking Bivol won, so they hear all that. So in a rematch, any close round might go to Bivol.
And while Beterbiev had won, he acknowledged it was an extremely close contest. However, for the rematch, Frampton leaned toward Bivol as the likely winner. Eddie Hearn, a prominent boxing promoter, described the first fight as a thrilling and razor-close contest, though he did not consider it controversial.
Bivol won. You know what I mean? Which came on at the end. You know what I mean? Because Bivol, slowed down. He slowed down. So, but I had Bivol winning.
I feel like a lot of folks did.
He felt that Bivol deserved the victory and emphasized the importance of a rematch to provide closure. Hearn acknowledged Beterbiev's elite status but expected another highly competitive battle. Jose Benavidez predicted another grueling fight, believing Bivol's speed, mobility, and defensive skills would give him the upper hand.
Should they rematch? How do you see the fight playing out? Should they rematch? How do you see the fight playing out?
Oh, I think they should rematch, and I think it's going to be a different situation this time because it seemed like he got winded at the last 2 rounds.
He noted that their first fight was extremely close and could have even been scored a draw. Though he respected the judge's decision, he personally felt Bivol had done enough to win. In contrast, Lonnie B predicted that Beterbiev would secure a stoppage victory in the rematch, citing that he had been rushed back too soon after surgery for their first fight. He expected Beterbiev to focus on body shots early, wearing Bivol down before stopping him in the 9th or 10th round. With so many contrasting opinions from boxing's biggest names, the rematch has ignited intense debate. Who do you think will emerge victorious? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more boxing updates.